headed for a little morning. I'm not gonna call it a hike, I'm gonna call it a walk. It's more of a walk outside in nature, so that'll be nice. And yeah, I'm gonna attempt to vlog. We'll see how this goes. Not feeling my best today. I've been pushing it way too much with work and NaNoWriMo, and I have like a classic like crick in the neck situation. Ugh, it's the worst. So hoping that, like, I just took a super hot shower, hoping that the walk will help. How do you feel about this day off?
It's great. I don't know, it's a day off, man. We get to sleep in and go walk the dogs. Like, come on.
Sounds like a good day.
I wish every day was
I think
like
the
that.
dogs are very happy.
Yeah, me too.
We have to move your snowboard out of the back.
We do. Up, stay.
Our walk is kind of like in this valley all the way around and then comes back. I think we're probably overdressed. This is one of the struggles of coming from Qatar and living in a desert for 3 years and not having a winter or being in a winter at all. Like, we don't know anything anymore. I feel like we're so out of touch with like being in the cold. How do you feel like you're adjusting to winter?
Pretty well so far. I mean, we definitely got spoiled for a while, but...
Morning frost! What do you smell? I'm realizing that I'm already out of order with everything. Vlogging is hard. I should have said everything at the beginning. But I'm gonna try to show you, what I'm trying to show you is like a typical morning for me and Luke, especially during NaNoWriMo. The only difference is today is technically Veterans Day, so it's a day off. So it's our normal morning, except it's all happening later because we slept in. So usually first thing is I try super hard not to look at screens, and then we wake up and we get right in the car and go for this walk. But because I have this like crick in my neck, I took a hot shower. That's the only difference so far. And then I'll show you the rest of the morning.
It's a big difference. Living childhood memories. Used to love this sound.
Did it go through?
No.
No.
But there's like 2 layers.
Oh man, it's so cool. Okay, do it again. Okay. So we're just stopping to get some gas, and Luke loves this like local gas station iced coffee. I don't know what makes a good iced coffee. I've never had an iced coffee. I'm not an iced coffee person. I'm not a coffee person, actually. So we had to stop, and I thought I would chat for a second about what I do when it comes to journaling during NaNoWriMo. This is my 5th NaNoWriMo. I skipped 3 years in between. I did 4 years in a row, skipped 3. Now I'm back to NaNoWriMo. So, but usually during a NaNoWriMo, if I'm working on a novel, no, I'm good. I don't want anything. I'm good. That's so sweet. I usually don't journal, typically. I mean, maybe I like little here and there if I really need to write, like get something out emotionally. But for the most part, I don't really journal at all. I think it's just a lot of pressure, and it's already a lot of writing and a lot of words. So typically on my NaNoWriMo morning, we go for a walk like you just saw, and then, or even this Nyla, and then we go back home, have some breakfast, and then I usually jump right into NaNoWriMo, and I try to get NaNoWriMo done before I start my job, and I'm working online, which I can talk about another time, but yeah, so usually on like a regular morning, I would be journaling at that point. But today, since a couple of you wanted to see a NaNoWriMo update and a journal with me, I thought maybe I'd try it if it's not too long. So we'll see. But normally I don't journal at all, and I haven't really been journaling since this NaNoWriMo has been going on because I'm worded out and I just want to focus on my book.
Hi. Oh, hello. Hello there. What are you filming me for?
Hot oatmeal. Oh yeah. We got some hot lemon water. And we got our typewriter. And we got our story. My husband's playing with the dogs. What's he doing? He crazy. Okay. So we're back. Got the oatmeal, got breakfast, got our writing situation. I've got my hot water bottle because my back is killing me. I am still adjusting to, hold on. I'm adjusting. I need my sister. My sister is a chiropractor. Oh my goodness. I'm still, I'm gonna hold myself like this. I'm still adjusting to working remotely. And as you can see, we're kind of in this A-frame house. So my office is up here, which I love because it's super cozy, but I feel like I spend most of the day like hunched over at my desk, and I need to get better at standing up. So I think it's time for me to get a standing desk, which I'm gonna look into today and tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Super simple. I eat the same thing every day, pretty much. Literally just like hot oatmeal with raisins and cinnamon and chia seeds. Okay, NaNoWriMo update. Let's go, Tina. Get it together. Get it together. NaNoWriMo. Okay. So, NaNoWriMo, it's my year 5. I'm working on like this nonfiction piece about journaling and like using, I'm kind of inspired, I'm inspired by still life paintings and like how a still life can kind of help us to train our eyes to slow down, to appreciate the world more, and in turn have a stiller life in ourselves. So what's going well? What's going well? One, I like my idea, which is good because I still like it. Sometimes you have an idea, you start it, and then it's like, oh my gosh, this isn't right. I know I'm doing the right thing, so that's a win. That's a win. I'm trying to think of positives first. I'm not in the most positive mindset today, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling just like cranky and tight. So I want to start with the positives first, so I don't complain this entire video. What else is positive? The typewriter has been incredible. The past 4 NaNoWriMos, I've always handwritten them. And it took me like 2 hours a day to really get to that 1,600 words at least. Now with the typewriter, because she's amazing and epic and just delightful, I'm like able to bang out the 1,600 words in like 45 minutes or 40 minutes sometimes, especially if I'm like on a roll. So that's been a win. That's huge, huge. So I'm able to do all my writing before work starts, typically. The structure I set up for myself like really works. So basically what I'm doing is I picked a bunch of objects that are typically seen in still life paintings, and each object is a different chapter in the book. And for each chapter, I'm kind of starting off with a story or like a parable or something that relates to that object. It could be from my life, it could be from the world at large. Then I'm like connecting it to a still life painting, and then we're like talking about what's the wisdom in that object, and then how can you use a journaling prompt to deeper connect with the wisdom that that object is offering. So that has been awesome and is working. I really want this book to actually be super short. I'm still pushing myself to write 1,500 words just because I do think it's a good exercise. But I think the book is going to be super tiny. Like I want it to be like each chapter like only a couple pages, and there's only 7 chapters. So I want it to be like a nice guide, more of a field note guide kind of thing. Some overwriting big time, which has been interesting. So since I only have 7 chapters, I've been taking, and like an intro and a conclusion, I'm rewriting each chapter a couple times, which has been really fascinating to not read what I write the day before and just like start fresh every day. And I think it's been good because it gives a totally different like perspective on the topic, which I'm digging. And I feel like I'm coming up with cool content that way, as opposed to just like churning through a story. Like every day is kind of brand new. I get a chance to not edit, but like rewrite, which has been kind of powerful in and of itself. So I'm happy, like I'm digging it. But overall, like NaNoWriMo, it's always hard. Like I forget because I'm like so excited every year to do it if I am able to. But I just forget, like it's always like wrestling the beast, like the bear every morning. It's like
like I dread it. And then like I sit down, I start, and I'm like, oh, that was great, or like, oh, that was tough. But for the most part, it's like this, it's not like easy. Sometimes, if like I'm really lucky, like once in a blue moon, like the day 1 of NaNoWriMo this year was epic. Like I wrote a great intro, it just like happened. But everything else has been like, oh, I'm wrestling, and then I find a few gems. But one thing that I have that has helped, which I've never done before, is I've actually started sharing a little bit of my writing with my family, with Luke. Usually I've been like super protective because I'm like, it's not perfect. And this year I'm just like, ah, whatever. I just started sharing with them. And like when I read out loud, I'm like, whoa, this is way better than I thought. Like in my mind, this was like total crap. And now like this is like, I'm in a much better place than I expected. So that's been also a surprise. But overall, like the grind of NaNoWriMo is what's getting to me right now. It's day 11. And it's just like, I think next year when I do it, I really want to rethink about the word count, because like right now I do just like 1,600 a day, but then I'm doing it every single day and there's never a day off, which is just not realistic. So I think next year I want to push myself to like make a new higher word count every day, but then I have like every Sunday off or something like that, just because this grind is, this is rough. And I should really stop talking because I need to write. So let's write a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna be real honest. This is not gonna work. I can already feel it. My back is killing me and I need a break. I don't know, I've been learning more about like this motion, like my head is down, and like the more I write, like this is all just too much for my back today. So I'm gonna pause on the writing, but I will come back today at some point. It's just too much right now. So I'm gonna turn off my good old typewriter. Okay, and I thought maybe we could do a little journal with me, because I think this is going to be a little bit more gentle on me, on my back, instead of having to like really hit the keys. Like I said, I've been, yeah, not really journaling too much lately. It's just really about NaNoWriMo for me. But a couple of you asked that you wanted to see some kind of journal with me, so I've been in an A6, actually, believe it or not. I can take this out to show you. Which is a totally new size to me. I'm in an A6 Naname Cafe Notes. I label it's graph paper, which isn't typically my favorite, but it is the new Tomoe River paper, which is not the same as the old Tomoe River paper, let me tell you, but it is nice. It's still pretty nice. So, and I have labeled the pages just so that I can come back and index later. And then I also always keep just like a little stencil as my bookmark. And then, yeah, I usually just stencil in the date. I just think it looks cute that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna go stencil. I also just want to take this time while I'm stenciling, because this is kind of mindless, to just thank you all for just the love and the support. It's just crazy. Like, I was so unsure for so long about coming back to YouTube. And even just yesterday, I was like, oh, I don't know what to make a video on. I can't believe I haven't made a video yet for this week. Like, I'm so disorganized. I'm so, you know, I was just pretty down on myself about it. And like just coming on and then just like asking you all, like, what do you want to see? And it was just so sweet to have so many responses. It really was. I'm so grateful. Ugh, I'm so grateful, and it's been really cool to get to know you guys better in the comments. I'm so glad I did that one video asking you guys questions about yourselves, because I feel like I'm learning so much, and it's taking me forever to get through the comments, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna get to everybody. Yeah, so this is just kind of like what a page looks like. I don't know if this is gonna focus, but yeah, I always just try to start off super clean. I just like how that looks. And then yeah, so journaling with me today. I will probably start with some kind of check-in, and honestly, and I'm sorry to keep complaining about this, but my neck is killing me. So when I have like a physical kind of demand, like in this case, that's all, there's just a part of my brain that is just focused on this. I probably will try to describe that feeling just because that's what's at the forefront. Sometimes it's my emotions that are on the table and need to be talked about. Sometimes it's my body, and that's what's happening here. Sometimes it's something spiritual that's going on. So usually if, usually that's kind of how I start, with some kind of check-in, whether it's, you know, mind, body, spirit, emotions. I usually just kind of start there, like, what am I feeling right now? So especially after a writing session, I usually typically wouldn't do this. Like, I wouldn't do 40 minutes of NaNoWriMo and then go into my journal. But since NaNoWriMo is like, I don't know, I know what I need to do, it's just like not happening yet. I think this actually will be kind of nice for me. So I think right now I'm gonna just start with just a check-in, an emotional and physical check-in, and then it might probably sound a little whiny, but that's okay. That's how I'm feeling. So I'm just gonna honor that, and yeah, I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so that was an interesting writing session. I started off with just a kind of generic 3 questions. One is how is my body, how is my heart, and how is my spirit? Really simple, really simple. Drop my key bed. And then from there, I started with the body because that's clearly what's happening right now, and I'm not gonna lie, that's clearly what's on my mind. So I just did a little check-in there. You know what? Why don't I bring you guys? I'm gonna bring you here. Oh man, I'm a mess. Okay. All right. So, okay. Ouch! I can't think about much else right now. Ouch! The pain is shooting from the. So I'm just describing how my back is feeling, and it's a little whiny. So it is what it is. That's okay. And then I jumped to how's my heart. So we're just a little bit cranky, but I'm also just feeling super grateful to my family and for Luke for taking such good care of me when I'm having an off day. And then I went to how's my spirit, and this is where it got a little interesting. I didn't really realize this, but I was really feeling like, okay, ditching the water. I was surprised that she really just like, my spirit's feeling like really want to go, like feeling fiery. I'm feeling a lot of creative fire. And it's kind of interesting because when I reflected on that, there's this like contrast, right, between how my spirit's feeling and how my body's kind of feeling. And then I kind of just went down to like, what does my body need versus like, what does my spirit need? And I realized they're super different. So that was surprising. So my body is literally just like screaming at me to do nothing and stop moving, stop creating, just stop and enjoy this day off. But my spirit, while my spirit needs some creative fire. So I kind of came up with this interesting solution, and maybe I could do something creative like crochet or read, to just at least satisfy that side of me, laying low. So it kind of explains like, because I just thought like, oh, I'm cranky because I'm in pain, but actually I'm cranky because I'm actually feeling really creative today, and I'm feeling a lot of like energy and excitement about having the day off. But I'm frustrated because my spirit's like ready to go and make and create and write and talk to all of you, but my body is really asking me to stop and slow down. So wow, that was actually really helpful in trying to understand like my own emotional state this morning, and it just gives me better perspective on what I need for this day. I'm notorious for, here we go, I'm notorious for having bad, like when it's a day off, it's just like I put too much pressure on the day, and not always, but sometimes it's just like I'm not the best at resting. So clearly that's what my body's asking me to do, and that's what I'm gonna go do now. But it was super helpful to actually journal that out, so I'm really glad. Thank you all for that intuitive opportunity for pushing me to do a journal with me, because yeah, I needed that. And now I think I understand a little bit better of like where I'm at today and how I can help myself. So I'm gonna go do that. Wishing you all some creative fire. I'm sending so much love to all of you that are doing NaNoWriMo, or who are just journaling today and are looking for, you know, a deeper connection to yourselves. So thanks for being here as always. Thanks for pushing me to just share myself in all this vulnerability and honesty.